And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Muncie, Pennsylvania. For tonight's high school football game of the week, we got the small school district championship between the Muncie Indians and the Canton Warriors. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Booster Club of Muncie High School. Hello, everyone. My name is Jamie Spencer, and I am joined by the coach, Rich Salonis. And Rich, great atmosphere. We got a lot of rain yesterday. You and I both got a chance to walk out on the field. Oh, it is perfect. Should be a great matchup between two of the top dogs in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, this doesn't get any better in this side of the state for single-A football than the two going at it tonight. A combined 20-1, and that one loss being by Jersey Shore, which they administered to Canton in a game which Canton probably played Jersey Shore as tough, if not tougher than anybody, including the playoff opponents so far. But if you brought somebody in here tonight and said it rained all day yesterday, all last night,
3 inches of rain,
they would think you were on some type of drugs, because we walked the field and shoes are not even wet.
Gorgeous.
No mud, no puddles, nothing. So the field will not be able to be used as I hate to say excuse, but as a reason for anybody losing tonight.
No, I totally agree with you.
Which is a good thing.
It is a good thing, and I'll tell you, it really drained well. The crew did an excellent job, but hey, these two teams, there is no secret between them. They have locked horns in the postseason. I want to say in the last 4 or 5 years, I should have done a little more research, but I'll tell you what, Coach, these guys, they know each other. Last year, Canton got the upper hand, a game that we called. We were up in Towanda. They played a premier football game. Man, they looked sharp. And I'll tell you what, Muncie, that left a little sour grapes, that left a little sting, and I'm sure they're hoping for a little redemption here tonight. But it's going to be tough. Both teams well coached, both teams good on the defensive end. Both teams know how to put some points on the board as well.
Yeah, they're very familiar with one another. They didn't play during the regular season this year, but in terms of facing off against one another in the postseason, they're more than familiar with one another. It's like taking the same date to prom for 3 or 4 years in high school. You know what they're going to do. You know what they like, what they like to dance to, et cetera, et cetera. But listen, you're not going to get anything non-advertised from Canton.
Yeah.
I mean, any surprises. They do what they do. They've done it for years, and they've got a great tradition at that school going all the way back with Miller Moyer there for years. And now, of course, one of his disciples, a former player, Tyler Seacrest, has done a phenomenal job.
He really has, and I'll tell you, you said it. There's no they run the football. They run a little variation, and you're a little more technical than I am, but old school wing T, and they got so many backs that can run with the football. They have speed. They have power. They got a great offensive line, and they just move people. It's going to be very, very difficult for Muncie up front. Muncie is battle-tested to a certain extent. Rich, we looked at their roster. They've been in a lot of blowout games, what have you. And, again, that's not their fault whatsoever. But this caliber of a team, especially up front, that defense needs to play solid on the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's what it's going to come down to tonight, James. It's going to come down to the line of scrimmage without too much coach speak. But Muncie's got great athletic ability and skill. Canton has good skill, but they're going to make their bones running the football. And you're right. If you haven't seen Canton tonight, guys, you're in for a treat, folks. They run a combination of power football, Delaware wing T concepts, and the old single wing spinner series.
Beautiful thing, man. I like it. So we're going to keep things here. We're going to pause momentarily for the playing of the national anthem. Yeah, that's good stuff, Rich. Love coming to the old stadiums, you know, packed house, obviously, but to hear those musical instruments playing the national anthem, also the alma mater, it's a beautiful thing. High school football, you can't get any better than this.
No, nope. And I'll guarantee you, Canton shut down for the evening, from Canton all the way down Ralston, all the way down 14 to here. Listen, there's nothing wrong with small school football, and
it's fantastic.
Communities get behind these kids, and again, you've got two Eastern single-A powerhouses over the last 4 or 5 years going at it. Sean Tetreault and his staff, they've done a great job at Muncie. They've perennial powers, over an 85% winning percentage over the last 5 years. And listen, you know as well as I do from your years coaching, it doesn't matter the sport. You got to have kids.
Yes.
But, you know, those kids don't just show up and do nothing. Somebody's got to lead them. And tonight's going to be a pretty good chess match, because Muncie is going to have to not only be physical on both sides of the line of scrimmage, but they're going to have to use great eye discipline and be very disciplined with their keys, because if they get caught watching the quarterback turn his back and spin around, they're going to have a long night.
I'll tell you, you know, kudos to Muncie, kudos to Canton. Yes, it is starting to rain a little bit. Thank heavens we're inside, Rich. This was going to be a concern, but at the same time, great crowd from Canton, great crowd here at Muncie. Rich, you got to call Muncie last week. They have got some really talented players on the offensive end, and you mentioned that. They are studs across the board. They do every single sport well. That Johnson kid, he is the real deal. Had an opportunity to call him 3 times this year, and I'll tell you what, he is a bull.
He is, and he's a young pup. He's still learning to play the game.
That's scary.
But you can see the leaps and bounds and the strides he's made throughout the season. We had a chance to see him at South Williamsport earlier in the year, and the strides that he made last week when we got to see the game, compared to that, leaps and bounds. So we should be in for a good one here. Yeah,
we should be. Muncie will take the opening kickoff. Kind of a squib kick. Taking at the 15. As he'll bring it across to, the ball is down, but it looks like they did blow it dead. So it will be 1st and 10 for Muncie to start things off at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was Brady Ryder who took that opening kickoff. So decent field position for the Muncie Indians, led by the Ayers.
They are so fun to watch, and the cool thing is, you know, since it's the first game, district championship, I had to bring my security, so my son Jensen's here. Jensen got a chance to give them some high fives before the game. Beautiful kids, and yeah, big fans of those guys. 2 wide receivers will come to the bottom. Ayer, the quarterback, is under center. Pitching, Johnson tries to get to the outside, makes one man miss. Great gain there on 1st down, Rich.
They did. Right off the bat, they do something a little different, as Johnson's used to running trap plays. So they're going to put a person in motion here and do a little bit of a pin and pull, as you see.
Sorry, Rich. Yep, starting lineup here for Muncie. Confer, Ayer, Kammerer, Harris, Hampy, Trossel. They're the guys up front. We also got Berge, Stark, Ayer, Johnson, and Weichel. 2 wide receivers to the top. Man in motion. Johnson, the fullback give, picks up the 1st down. Move those chains.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can tell you Canton's not used to getting pushed off the line of scrimmage like this. The first 2 plays of the game are any indication of how the night's going to go. It's going to be a great night for Muncie Indians.
Muncie's offensive line, in the games that I have seen them play, they're very athletic. Yes, they are big, but they are very athletic. They do a nice job. And again, Johnson, he is just a man amongst boys. He's lined up as a fullback this time. Play action, kind of like a option read of some sort. Weichel, he is going to get knocked down. A lot of movement.
It was a little bit of a counter action, not a counter trade. He didn't pull both. But again, 3-4 yards. Coach Tetreault is going to be very happy if you can continue to saw that off against Canton. Because one of the things that makes them so successful, they are used to having teams play behind the sticks. 2nd and 3rd real long situations. So this is very manageable for Muncie.
2nd down and 8, 3 wide receivers. Going to go with a quick give up the middle. Johnson still on his feet, forward progress, as there's a lot of pushing and shoving. As I'm sure that both teams are really fired up and they're looking forward to this opportunity.
Yeah, defensive tackle Mason Nelson, who's not hard to miss, 6'1", 305. I'll repeat it.
Big kid.
6'1", 305 for Canton. And listen, this is their year. They're all seniors across the front, except for Michael Davis, who's a junior, number 20. Seniors across the board in their linebacker core, except for one, and seniors across the board in their secondary. So they've been waiting for this team a while.
3rd down and 6. Iyer from the guard. Going to try to cut field, but good tackling up front. He's going to be short of the 1st down. It's right at the 50-yard line, and it looks like Muncie is going to send in the punting team.
Well, he tried to get Iyer around the corner. Canton did a real nice job of hemming him in, forcing him back into pursuit. So you're going to see 2 well-coached football teams tonight. I don't think you'll see a lot of mental mistakes or schematic mistakes in that account. Bellows back deep, by the way, for Canton.
We'll call his name a lot. That kid can play football. Takes it on the run, and he is tackled at the 30-yard line. But yes, Weston Bellows, he's the real deal. We'll be calling his name a lot. We'll talk about the Muncie defense real quick. Defensive end, Lucas Groover. We also have Cameron Kammerer, Kenneth Hampy, Kammerer. I bet they're related. They're up front. Fowler, very good linebacker. Shuda, that kid just tackles people. Walmer, Weichel, Ryder, Ayers are the safeties. Quick run off the right-hand side, and he's got some room, and look at that guy go. That is number 25, Riley Parker. Called his name a lot last year.
So right off the bat, Canton breaks their tendencies, comes out with a tight end, and runs what's called a down play, a wing T play, and Parker's able to get it, but it's coming back. You're going to get a hold.
I did not see that. As coach, it's going to be tough to see those flags, and that's all the way to the far sideline. Definitely going to move them back, and that's a break if you're a Muncie Indian fan.
Well, Muncie's outside linebackers and defensive ends are going to have to be stout tonight because they're going to get attacked by Canton's offense. Again, here we go. Something different from Canton as they're in an unbalanced line. They've got their tight end and slot towards us.
Ferguson under center, going to go, and the ball is on the ground. Ferguson, great athletic play, ends up picking up a couple of yards, but watch the miss exchange, and we got the replay. Never had a chance, Coach.
No, he dropped it, but right off the bat, you'll see Canton was what's called line over. They brought the tight end over to the same side. So 2 plays from Canton so far and 2 tendency breakers formation-wise.
2nd down and 10, 8-10 left to go here in the opening quarter. Parker off the right-hand side, gets a few nice blocks. Still on his feet, Coach. Picks up 10, maybe 11. And no, they're going to say he's going to be just short of the 1st down. But, wow, that guy, he is pretty crafty.
Well, this is the same play they ran to start the game. It's called down, and he's just going to bounce it to the outside. You're not going to bring these backs down with arm tackles.
Yep.
You're going to have to make the short tackle. Canton's got a 3rd and short on their opening drive.
Parker listed as a 6', 190 senior. He's also a very good linebacker. 3rd down and short. Parker, good tackling as he is going to pick up the 1st down, lunges forward.
And we need, if we can go back, you'll see what I'm talking about with the front side trap. Number 89 for Muncie. They can't run outside like that and turn their pads. There's the natural seam. They're going to have to squeeze that down and play it much more physical, Jamie. If
we got to get you a highlighter, man. You're having fun over here. Quick spin. Leave that as Ward. Mr. Shuda comes out of nowhere, picks it up. Very short gain.
Veteran linebackers had himself an outstanding career. Comes
He is
into
so
tonight
good, so good.
with 107 tackles, making
It's ridiculous.
108.
Yep. Shotgun formation here for Canton. Sends a man in motion. Play action. Run up the middle. Good defense again. Hold them short. Maybe gets 1 yard, but good pursuit up the middle, Coach.
And this is what we talk about the spinner series.
Yep.
You'll see the quarterback spin and put his back to the line of scrimmage. Muncie did an outstanding job of that eye discipline and playing their assignments. Canton's a big screen team. You'll also see tonight, folks at home with Jamie, they also like to cross their receivers.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye out for them. They've been a screen team since the Civil War. Their kids.
Jensen, that's funny. That was a funny line. 6:30 and counting here, the opening quarter. Third down, and it is a long 7, and we got movement up front. It looks like Shuta just got a little too excited, Coach.
He did, and I thought the official threw that a little premature there.
That's hard. So
because there was no contact made.
Yeah, talk to us. He's allowed to get back, right?
Yeah,
okay.
They were still in the middle of their cadence, but still got to make the play. It's still 3rd and short.
Now, that's the thing. It is a 3rd down still. It's going to be 3rd down and 2, we'll call it. Quarterback will send 2 wide receivers closest to us. Going to go with the give, and he slips and falls. He does not get the first down right at midfield.
That was going to be an inside fullback trap. You'll see on the reverse pivot. Right there, he slips. Muncie's defensive tackle ran right by him, but should have been able to make that play. But Eli Harris caused enough havoc for Canton to have to punt now. Hopefully, Muncie will sit still, and I think we've got ire and ire deep, Jamie.
Yes, and those guys have played quite a few sports in their backyards, and it's the same situation. Got to watch the fake here. Ball right at midfield. Good snap. And
they're not going to be happy with
out
that.
of bounds, and they're going to keep on pacing forward. I believe he's going to mark that right at the 35-yard line. So, yes, not a very efficient kick, Coach.
So just what you would expect. You know, both of these heavyweights are used to scoring on their first drive.
With
you know
ease.
What I'm saying? Yes,
with ease.
So
yeah.
now they're going at it back and forth here.
Yep.
And that's what's interesting, and that's what's great about the playoffs as you start to march on and find teams that are going to be able to match your ability level. So good opening stop for Muncie, good opening stop for Canton. I thought it was interesting that Canton broke a lot of their tendencies in the first series by formation.
Something different. Tight formation here. And we're going to go with a little bit of a screen, and well done. That defensive front was not fooled whatsoever. Try to get Weichel.
Well, Muncie's run this play all year, but Canton's not fooled. You see they've got 3 defenders waiting for him.
They were not going to just get, you're right. So it's going to be a loss of 4 on the play. Bring up a 2nd down and 14. 5:05 left to go here in the opening quarter. We're scoreless. Single A District 4 championship here in Muncie. 2 to the top. Branson under center. Backs are in the eye. Weichel. And he gets maybe 2.
Yeah, it was a counter trap there, Jamie.
Yep.
And Mason Harold, number 64 for Canton, made that play. You'll see it, a lot of penetration in the backfield. You'll see him right there get up. Caused a little bit of consternation on the back's part, and Muncie's faced with the 3rd and 11. Little surprised that they haven't tried to get some of their receivers in space so far.
I agree, and I think,
you know, they're feeling each other out.
Yep.
But Canton's got some matchup problems against the athletes that Muncie has.
Iyer, throwing situation,
And
throws,
there it is.
and it is caught. He's going to be short of the first down. Good defense, brought some pressure up front, Coach. And again, this secondary for Canton is very, very solid.
Well, they're all seniors for the most part, and it's make or break. They know they have to make the tackle. If they don't, there's no one left back there because there's only 3 of them. They'll either play a cover 3, but primarily they're a man defense. So, again, Muncie waited till 3rd and long to do that, but there's what we were talking about, getting some of their athletes in space to make some plays.
Punting situation. Good snap. Weichel, good kick. And it's going to be fair caught right at the 23-24 line by Bellows, where they will take over 1st and 10. Coach, I totally agree. every time we've called Muncy's game, they've took that opening possession, scored some points. Canton, same thing. Here, they're just feeling each other out, a little bit of nerves maybe, trying to do maybe a little too much, get back to your basics. But let's face it, both of these defenses are very, very good.
They are, and sometimes to offset that, you've got to break some of your tendencies.
Yep.
And for Muncie, maybe that's throwing on first down or second and short.
Spin. Going to get to the outside. Running back in good play again. Going to keep that ball in bounds, and it's a very short game on first down.
Well, very well played by Muncie's outside linebacker and corner. As you'll see it again with that spinner series, you have to be very disciplined to play your keys or what you're being coached to read. The quarterback is not one of them.
Yes,
that's
okay.
the whole premise of the spinner series. They want your eyes on the quarterback spinning around from the line of scrimmage, and usually by that time the ball's by you.
Just a lot of moving parts, Coach. Quarterback in the gun, misdirection. Who has the ball? The guy right up the middle. Yep. And that is number 7, Weston Bellows. Give the dog a bone. There was a lot of commotion going. Go ahead.
This is just the wing T, derivative of a wing T play, where you have misdirection everywhere, and that's where your linebackers who are assigned the fullback have to play the fullback.
Just play solid.
Not what they're seeing action-wise.
The beautiful thing, too, with this replay, that was a direct snap to Bellows.
Correct. This is what they do most of the time. The last couple plays, they're back into their usual offense.
There's some good sticking going on. Very short gain as there was a bunch of blue shirts in there on the stop.
Well, Shuda led the charge there. You'll see, that's who he's supposed to be playing. He missed the tackle, but he still held him up long enough for Pursuit to come and get him. Usually you'll assign your inside backers to the fullback.
Yep.
I don't know if Muncie's done that, but that's how usually the wing T goes with your inside linebacker. And they're in a 4-3 now, so Shuda should be responsible for him.
His quarterback's going to keep it. He's getting Pursuit, and he is smacked down. Loss on the play. Got to give some love right there to number 12, Landon Warmer.
Yeah, again, watch the outside linebacker. Watch him sit, scrape, scrape, scrape. And that's where he's supposed to be. It's assignment right there. And not only was Womer there, but also Jacob Fowler would have been there if the tackle was missed. So 2 plays in a row now where Muncie has been extremely disciplined, but you got to do it for 3 downs.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 11. Quarterback back to pass, has some time. He's going to get to the outside, and one man makes a great tackle. That is number 4, Jacob Fowler. Stayed at home, didn't he, Coach?
Absolutely. We just called his name previous. And other than Jersey Shore, I'm telling you, Canton isn't used to being 0 for 2 or 3.
I agree.
On their first possessions of games. So this is great. This is playoff football here in Muncie. Muncie's going to show up and play, and they have done a nice job so far. I'm impressed with their discipline defensively.
0-0. Got under a minute left to go here in the first quarter as, that far backer was just moving a little quick.
Well, Holden Ward, you'll see him if we get, I don't know if Nick's going to get some, but if we get a replay, you'll see him come in motion. And they're bringing him in motion.
That's all right.
Well, that's okay. They're bringing him in motion to try and get leverage so he can cover the punt better, but you can't turn your pads upfield before the ball was snapped.
Just went too soon. Yep. And that's going to actually start the clock, Coach, as the clock is running. We got 34 seconds and counting.
They will have to snap it.
Yep. The Iyer boys are standing at the 25-yard line. Much better punt this time. It's going to go over Branson's head, and he's going to let that roll, and Canton's going to down it all the way to the 5-yard line. Stops the clock with 15 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to flip the field there, but I'll tell you what. I think it was 81. Lucas Groover could have blocked that punt.
Yeah, he was there.
He literally stopped.
Yeah.
So something to keep an eye on for later on in the football game. But now any coach in America will tell you, get what you can get here. You obviously want to move the sticks. Don't turn the ball over. But I'll also say it's a great place for a play-action pass.
I agree. And you got some stud wide receivers, especially his cousin, number 11, Iyer. He can go get him with the best of it. Branson under center. Run just right up the middle, try to get themselves some yardage, and they do. They pick up 4 on the play.
Straight dive, Johnson.
Johnson's pretty good, and I just have a feeling we'll be calling his name for the rest. And there's the final horn for the first quarter. Coach, we're scoreless. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, but I'll tell you what, folks, don't go anywhere. This is the high school football game of the week. We will be back in 30 seconds. And welcome back to Muncie, District 4, Single A Championship. Not much going on there that first quarter as my man up top, Dre Lewis. These are unofficial. Johnson, 4 carries, 19 yards. That's about it. Second down and 6. Johnson tries to get to the outside. Good tackling up front.
Yeah, Canton played that well. That was Hayden Ward from his linebacker spot coming up. Canton's actually got them outnumbered out here, so you can see the number of white jerseys compared to the blue to block. So very well played by Canton.
And, Coach, very, very disciplined, both sides. I mean, they just, they stretch it out, fight off a couple of blocks, short gains, third down, and it is going to be a long 7.
And there are 2 words playing next to each other, Hudson and Hayden.
And it is caught, and he is going to be very close to that first down. Coach, it almost seems that he caught it, and it was so surprised that he caught it.
Turn it up right now and get what you can. He peeled back.
Yep.
Everybody wants to make the big play, and he knows it. He knew it as soon as he stood up, but make the sure play. So now we're faced with another punting situation. Weichel back to boot. He boomed one last week.
He did.
His longest of the year. It was a 60-yarder.
He's another great athlete, also a very good basketball player. Good snap, gets some pressure up front, booms it away. As the rain is starting to come down again, Bellows is just bellowed. I'm here all week.
Yeah, but
I thought that was good.
Yeah, it was a good one. One thing to keep an eye on now, James, the field's flipping ever so gently in Canton's favor, and they're going to start on Muncie's 41-yard line. And don't be surprised if they air it out here on first down. Both teams extremely heavy run-oriented on first and second down.
So 1st and 10, ball is going to be spotted on the 41-yard line. 10:35 left to go in a scoreless second quarter. Delayed handoff to the outside. Tries to get to the outside. That's Riley. And, man, I'll tell you, Parker, that time he ran with such patience, then finally kicked it to another gear.
Then Canton again, a blast play right off tackle. A great block by tackle. Pancake block.
Yeah.
And then again, look at the balance, getting the yards that he needs to get. So Canton has had a couple of successful run plays, but they haven't been able to string them together. Muncie's been able to put a plug in the leak.
That's a first down, 1st and 10. Quarterback under center, backs are in the eye. Going to give it to Parker again. This time he's going to go to the left. Gets stretched out, makes another man miss, and he is refusing to go down. Coach, that is another first down. Great individual effort.
It is, and now Canton comes out in the eye, something they haven't done a ton of. But watch, it's going to be a read play. They call it a bounce. Do you see how Parker started to the inside and then bounced it outside? That's a well-designed play. He ran it to perfection, and Canton's got a first and goal, I believe.
It is.
On,
it's
on
first
the
and goal right at the 5, maybe the 6-yard line. See what they come out. They go with the I again. Quarterback is under center. That is Ferguson. Ferguson's going to go with the tailback. Gets a nice surge. He's in for the touchdown.
He is.
Touchdown, Canton Warriors. They strike first, Coach.
They did. And again, that field was flipped. 2 or 3 plays are in the end zone. This is just a great block by number 55 up front, Ryan Eberle.
They went with the big running back that time. I think that was number 20, Michael Davis. He is no slouch, 6'3", 220 pounds,
Correct.
just a junior.
That's right. One of the few juniors.
Got the point after here by Bailey Ferguson, quarterback.
49 of 56 on the year.
That's a lot of extra points, man. Kick is up. Kick is good. It wasn't pretty, but we'll take it. So with 9:32 left to go here in the second quarter, Canton strikes first. They are up 7-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back to Muncie. Single leg, District 4 championship. That rain's really starting to come down, Coach. Fielded at the 20 as he gets smacked right there. Looked like he had some running room up the lane, but tried to kick it.
He did. I don't think Brady really let his blocking materialize for him, and I think he would like to have that back. Nonetheless, not hideous position for Muncie to start.
First and 10 from the 29-yard line, 9:27 left to go here in the second quarter. As you can see, a lot of ponchos. You can see a lot of umbrellas as the rain is starting to fall. 2 wide receivers to the top. Johnson is the lone setback. Johnson gets the ball up the middle. Not much going. Good stop up the middle there by number 52, Gage Pepper. Is that a football name or not?
And not only is it a football name, but it's a Canton and Troy name.
Okay.
Believe me, my early
There's
years,
a lot
I
of
taught at
peppers.
Troy, there were a lot of peppers.
A lot of peppers.
So Canton's 200, 230, 305, and 210
insane.
along the front
That's insane.
defensively. So they are not small.
And again, this is a small school, Coach. Well, they really packed the box this time. Second down, and it is 7. Ayer's going to step back. He's running for his life. He's just going to throw it away, and that was actually pretty smart. Looks like he did get outside of the tackles, so he should be fine. But, man, that just couldn't get anything to develop.
He did, and Canton has done this for years. This is what we talked about in the pregame about them pressuring and bringing 8 men. That time they walked their linebackers up. You can see, just count their white jerseys on the line of scrimmage, and it was a good job just to get rid of the ball. But you slow that down by throwing screens.
Yes, yes.
And you slow it down by altering your snap count.
Quick throws, and also from the shotgun here. So Branson from the gun's going to drop back, looking, throws it up in the air for his cousin, and it is incomplete. Good throw, but just ran out of real estate, Rich.
They had Weston Bellows on him with good coverage.
It's going to bring up a punting situation for Muncie. Stops the clock, 8:37.
And he's got to keep his cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
He'll be all right. Yep.
it's the
but I
first
agree.
quarter. He's got to relax there. In my opinion, it was good coverage, good play, and good teams are going to make good plays.
And that's the difference. You got Canton, who's one of the top dogs in the state of Pennsylvania, and yeah. Weichel gets some pressure, gets it away. Good kick. Bellows is going to take it at the 33. has a little bit of running room. Good block, makes another man miss, and that guy is tough to bring down. We're starting to see some slippage. We're starting to see some turf come up, Rich.
And Jacob Fowler did a nice job. You'll see him ending up hemming him in. But going back to that play, I mean, this isn't a time to be losing your cool. It's a 7-0 football game.
Absolutely.
And, but that's how you're going to have to bring Bellows down. You're going to have to get a couple people to the attack area.
By committee.
Because he's Canton 7, as Johnson is Muncie 7. We're in the same numbers, but they run with the same physicality.
Just bulls. Full house backfield. You'd appreciate this setup. The old wishbone. Quarterback, and looks like we had maybe a little shuffle of some sort.
I think that's going to be on Muncie.
Yeah. Tricky. I did not see that, Rich, so that's going to be a free 5 yards.
And while it's early, 8:20, I'm sorry to cut you off, Jamie. This is a very important series for Muncie.
Yes. Same thing. Old school. 3 backs. Look at all this misdirection. And Bellows has it, just follows his blockers, and he picks up 20 yards.
Yeah, shades of Barry Switzer in Oklahoma.
Yes.
Coming back, it's a wishbone counter. There's the fake to the fullback right there.
Good block.
And they lead with Riley Parker, 6 foot 190 coming at you as the lead blocker. So I'm impressed with Canton's game plan so far, that they have changed some things up.
I was really impressed with Canton last year. Their quarterback Kitchen, who is now not playing, but so good with his ball control. As Parker still dragging people.
Yeah, it's going to be a first down for the Warriors, I believe. They're going to move the chains. So they're starting to get in a rhythm now. Moving the football on the ground, which is what they prefer to do. Muncie doing a little bit of substituting up front.
As that rain is really starting to come down, and it looks like Muncie is going to have to take a timeout. And that's smart. They kind of had some issues with personnel. We're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout, too. This is Muncie Indian football. Don't go anywhere.
See, they've got their nose in. And
welcome back. High school football game of the week, the District 4 Single A Championship. 7:30 left to go here in the second quarter. Canton is up 7-0. Bellows making a man miss, makes another man miss. The old wishbone picks up 5-6 yards.
So one of the things that Muncie did there to combat, they went to a 53-man or 53 deep to get more people in the box to stop the run game, but it didn't help too much on that play as Canton was still able to churn out 5 yards.
Ever since they kind of went to this old school look, it seems that they got their rhythm, they got their cahoots, and it's amazing. The ball control, quarterback's doing a great job. 2nd down and 4 as Parker slips.
Yeah, he's going to have no gain there. He may have had some, but again, Canton doing some sneaky things. Their right tight end is really a tackle, number 52.
Yep.
Or their left guard, Gage Pepper. They put him over at the end of the line of scrimmage. So they've got some tricks up their sleeves for the game tonight. They've made some adjustments and have unveiled a couple of different things. So big 3rd down and 5.
This is a big 3rd down and 5 for
probably
Muncie.
2 down territory
you
to
would
make
think.
the first.
You would think, yep. As I'll tell you, Bellows is stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Rich, it is tough to see who has the football because those guys are just so good with their fakes and everything.
They are. And the backs are very tight together, but it is just a double blast.
Yep.
But Muncie going to that 50.
Stood him up.
Stood him up, and now you've got a big fourth down play. Maybe a quarterback keep here off of a fake, Jamie.
They haven't seen that, and I agree with you. Ferguson is a great athlete. Full house backfield. Going to go to the right side, smacked, and I don't know. Looks like he did nudge forward. All he had to do is get over that 25-yard line, and they're going to spot it right on it.
They're going
First down.
Move the sticks.
First down. And that was a good play there by number 25, Riley Parker, who just kind of lunged forward right at the end.
He's their bell cow. He came in tonight, 119 carries, 1,170 yards, 20 touchdowns on the ground, 2 receptions via the air, 100 yards as a receiver. So
he's a stud.
He's it. He's one of them.
Going to go with Bellows off the left-hand side. Picks up a nice gain on first down. And I'll tell you, they're just kind of chipping away.
They are another counter, as you can see, and the off back is leading. This time it's Parker leading Bellows through the hole. And if Muncie doesn't shore this up and play this more consistently, you may not see anything different from Canton the rest of the game. Because trust me, if they go up by 2 scores here, they're going to be very happy with that.
I tell you what, and again, Muncie does have a high, potent offense, and they are doing a nice job keeping them off the field right now.
Good point, Jamie. And there they go, off tackle again.
Parker's going to get to the sideline, and he is going to go in for the touchdown. Touchdown, number 25, Riley Parker.
Well, obviously in their film study, they're attacking Muncie off tackle. You can see right there. They're going right at the defensive ends and right at the outside linebackers. That's where they've gotten probably 95% of their yards so far in this game. And some of the things you can do for Muncie is you can start giving them moving targets to hit, maybe bring some stunts off the corner, etc. We'll see what Muncie's D decides to do, because right now they're getting taken advantage of in a big way off tackle.
Here comes the point after. Kick is up, and it is tipped. And, oh, man, did that go through? Just barely. It kind of looked like that wedge shot I tried to hit over the bunker the other day.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, just like that, Rich, you mentioned it. Their pace, they're slow. The score now, with 4:23 left to go in the second quarter, Canton 14, Muncie 0. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Muncie, Pennsylvania for the District 4 Single A District Championship. Jamie Spencer along with the coach, Rich Zalonis. Burr, it's starting to get cold, Coach. It's a good thing that we're inside because it is raining as well. And Ryder bobbles that, picks it back up. Will try to get to the 20, and he is tripped up. All of the momentum is on Canton's side.
Correct. And one of the 3 words, that was Hayden Ward, number 23, making that tackle. And 4:19 left to go in the half.
Yep.
You don't want a turnover. But on the other hand, if you're Muncie, you have to get some consistency going offensively here. Because right now, I think you go 3 and punt the ball. Canton's got all the momentum in the world, and they've been controlling the line of scrimmage, which was a big key that we talked about.
Branson from the gun, trying to set up a screen. He's going to throw it up in the air and has a man, and it is tipped, knocked out of bounds,
and
double covered, and we got a late flag. And, oh, man, I don't know. We'll have to see it on the replay, but as we'll see what we got.
Well, they were going for Noah Confer, the 6'3 junior. And, again, you look at Muncie's receivers that they could play at any one time are 6'5", 6'3", and 6'2", and again, if you're going to be Canton and play this, it's an iffy call, but the call came from the back.
Yeah, it looked a lot worse maybe.
And there you see the arm. He got there beforehand. So good call in my opinion. And now it's really starting to come down rain-wise. But a good job by Muncie throwing on first down, getting some yardage.
That's an automatic first down, so it's going to move the chains for Muncie, get them a little mojo. 2 wide receivers will come closest to us, Rich. Johnson is in the fullback. Branson under center, and the ball is loose. The ball is still loose, and I think Canton got it.
Canton did get it. That's Michael Davis, the junior, 6'2", 210 pounds, defensive end, who fell on it. And, again, something that you don't want to have happen here has happened. But now, you know what? You get in these games, you got to suck it up and make a play.
And we talked about it. That makes it tough when that ball is wet and you're, just kind of running around, and unfortunately just never had it. Turnover. 1st and 10. Different look. We got 2 wide receivers in there right now. As going to go with the little shovel give up the middle, Hayden Ward, and he's going to run to the pylon, and he's going to be just short. I believe that is number 23, Hayden Ward, correct. But look at this.
Well, it's
this
an inside trap. There's number 50 right there. Nice trap play on the tackle, and away he goes. This was a play Muncie ran very well last week against Northwest. Canton now turns around and runs it back at them, and Muncie in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, ball's going to be right at the 4-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal. 3:45 and counting. Going to run right-hand side. Riley just waltzes in for the touchdown. Touchdown, number 25, Riley.
He did. Jacob Fowler had a shot at him but went low, and he just dove right over him right there. Just walked right over him. And
that wind is starting to kick up as well as my papers went elsewhere.
Absolutely. You got the elements now that are definitely going to come in and play a factor. And in all honesty, they're favoring Canton because they're running the football and running it very well.
Yes. Try one more extra point. Snap. Good hit. We got a flag that came out of nowhere. The kick is good. We'll see what the flag is, Coach.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested. I don't know if anybody ran over the center or jumped or anything of that nature, but.
So Bailey Ferguson, who is the quarterback, he's also the extra point guy, the field goal guy. Correct. I can't imagine they kick a lot of field goals, but interesting setup there. But finds a way to get her done.
Well, Bailey Ferguson is 4 for 4 on the year with a long of 33 yards.
Get out of here.
No. I'm not going to because it's raining.
Yes.
I'm going to stay in here.
Yes.
You're stuck with me the whole game.
No, I like it. There's a personal foul against Muncie, so they'll probably address that on the kickoff.
Again, I don't know if
I didn't see it either.
But the officials did, and that's all that counts.
Yep.
So, again, now I haven't had a chance to cover Muncie the whole year, but I'm going to bet that this might either be at most the second time the entire year they might be trailing.
Yeah.
Just even trailing.
Yep.
Nonetheless,
No.
touchdowns.
Yep. 3 touchdowns makes it tough. So Canton's up 21-0, but again, it's just got to get the ball, got to keep your spirits. You got to get into halftime, make some adjustments. But again, there is a lot of time as the rain is really starting to come down, and it didn't help that you got a 15-yard personal foul where they're just going to be kicking from about the 45-yard line, Coach.
Correct. Now, you can always do the half. You always look at the glass and say, is it half full, half empty? You got plenty of time to come back. It's not even halftime yet. But you've got to get some consistency offensively.
And Fowler tries to get to the 20. He's just going to be short, where it will be 1st and 10 for Muncie at the 19-yard line.
So now if you're Canton defensively, there you've got all 3 of your timeouts left, And boy, in this weather, the way things are going, let's see what Coach Seacrest does, if he's going to be, using those or not. Some coaches will just let him run out, but in a game like this, where you've got Muncie on the ropes, let's be honest.
Yeah, and Muncie, it's hard right now, Coach, and there's better than none. They're panicky right now, and a good play call. Let's run the ball with Johnson up the middle. Wow, that kid is just athletic. You think he's pretty good on the football field. You should see him in the weight room, in the mat room. He is just an animal.
Yep.
Look at this athleticism.
Yeah, he's got a good future ahead of him.
Yeah, he does.
In all sports.
As my security guard, he had some technical issues, so now I just offered to, hey, just play with this. Backs are in the eye. As Iyer, we had somebody slip, and he's going to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a concern moving forward.
Well, yeah, he missed the handoff for whatever reason. Was supposed to go to Johnson on the dive. I don't think it was going anywhere because Hayden Ward, the inside linebacker, was waiting for him. But nonetheless, again, another big third down, and I'm surprised Coach Seacrest didn't use one of his timeouts here. But I'll be really shocked if Muncie runs the ball, does not get the first down if he doesn't use a timeout immediately.
Good point, as it's 2:22 and counting here in the second quarter. Johnson up the gut, gets hit, and it is going to be very close. No, he's going to be short.
Yep,
There's the timeout.
Yep. Muncie's offensive line's doing an all right job, but there was looked like a mistake up front because Muncie's left tackle pulled right.
Yep.
And I don't know if that was what they call the old sucker play, but Canton was having none of it. They didn't follow the lineman. There were 3 Warriors waiting in that particular case. And again, big fourth down play here. 4th and 3. If you're Coach Seacrest, you've got 2:11 left. You've got 2 timeouts. You're running, meaning Canton, running the ball efficiently.
Yes.
So don't be surprised if they get themselves in another position for more points, even if it's a field goal attempt, because I do believe they get the ball as well.
They will.
To start the third quarter.
Going to be a tough situation. So punting situation here for Muncie. Weichel is back. He is standing at the 15-yard line. We got 2 Warriors standing right at their 40. Low line and kick. Bellows takes it right up the middle, gets hit, and somehow does not go down. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of hitting going on right now, Coach.
Great coverage by Muncie.
Yes.
And that was Brady Ryder down there amongst a couple other ones. And so Canton's got 50 yards to go for a touchdown and probably 35 yards for a field goal.
Yes. And it's 2:02, so, they're primarily a run-first team, but we'll see. They're not having any issues getting some yardage running the football.
So why throw? I
yeah,
hate
exactly.
to be that way, but why throw?
Yep. And this could almost be a hammer just because it's going to be tough to throw the football here in the second half. Backs are in the eye. Misdirection. Ward gets the first down. They're going to move those chains. Will that stop the clock? Yes, it will. 1:54 now. They'll spin it.
As soon as they set it. They actually started it before they've set it.
I did see that. Yep.
And that was another fullback trap. That was a play they scored on previous. Muncie back in their 4-3.
Backs are in the eye. Going to go right-hand side. Riley, Parker. Man, gets another 7, 8 yards.
And that's a classic down play. Front side guard is going to pull number 50. They're going to run the fullback right behind him, or the tailback in this case, whoever it is. Sometimes they'll lead, sometimes they won't, but Canton's having tremendous success off tackle in this game.
1:11 in counting. The clock continues to roll. Fullback give up the middle, tries to get forward, will pick up the first down, as it looks like they will take a timeout, Coach, and he almost had to. We'll take a timeout as well with 1:03 left to go here in the second quarter. The score, Canton 21, Muncie 0. Muncie Indian football. Jamie Spencer along with the coach Rich Zalonis. First down and 10, 1:03 left to go here in the second quarter. It's been all Canton. Parker, left-hand sides, gets stretched. Good stop that time by number 12.
Yeah, Landon Wolmer did an outstanding job to keep that play from going for big yards for Canton.
And Canton is not taking, they're taking their time as they're looking as the clock is now at 43, Coach.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't have 2 plays called.
Yes.
They're all looking at their wristbands, but we're going on 15, 17 seconds that have run off here. So they may go deep to Austin Allen up top, number 9.
Backs are in the eye. Misdirection. Play action. Going to throw. Has a man, and it is incomplete. That will stop the clock with 24.2 seconds. It will bring up a 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, they were looking for Hayden Ward off of a waggle play, another wing T play. We'll see them fake to the fullback Ward. Now he's going to slip out into the flat, and that's who they're looking to hit. Don't be surprised if way at the top of your screen, I don't know if you could see it or not, you've got the split end.
Yeah.
Austin Allen, who's 6'2", 190, who runs a post on that play. That's who I thought maybe they would look to because he did have leverage.
Well, as you know, too, that the rain has kind of stopped for now, hopefully. But that field is wet. It's getting colder. 24 seconds left to go here in the first half. 3rd down and 11. Kicks a man in motion, play action. Going to roll out, sets up the backside screen to Bellows. Bellows gets hit, missed tackle, picks up the first down, and that was a smack.
It was. Muncie played it beautifully. They just couldn't tackle him. But there's that screenplay that Canton's known for, well executed. You'll see Bellows swing out there. And now watch, you have your shot. You got to wrap them up, and you got to make the tackle. And it didn't
Look at this hit by Jason Shuda. Wow. But that's going to – Canton's going to call their final timeout with 13.4 seconds. Coach, we'll go ahead and keep things here. Yeah, do you try to go one for the end zone, or do you kick the field goal now, or what do you do?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good point.
Because I don't think they have any timeouts left.
No, so you may see them roll out, try and hit an out pattern or just a fade pattern to the Allen, to Allen, who's got some height to him. But, you got to throw it out of bounds because if you run anything, the half's going to be over unless you score the touchdown on it.
I don't think they're going to get a chance to get another play if they run. You're correct.
Letting 17 seconds run off that previous play may come back to hurt them.
You got it. So it will be 1st down and 10 from the 13-yard line. Sends a man in motion. Long snap. Drops back to pass, going to throw up, gets decked, throws it up in the air, and he almost hit the tuba.
And almost went in the tuba. I know, I was watching the same thing. So, so you took your shot, and now –
you still got a chance maybe to do another shot here.
Correct.
Yeah. The band is on the field, yep.
Now, one of the things that's interesting there, when they put Allen in motion –
good move by the tuba, sorry.
Yeah. You've got a 6'2" receiver, so they may put him in motion, put somebody else in motion, run the same play just to a different receiver.
Got 3 wide receivers to the top. Quarterback in the gun. 8 seconds left here in the second quarter. Drops back to pass. He's going to throw. Ball is up in the air. It's well underthrown. It is incomplete. That stops it with 1.7 seconds.
Yep, and you're going to see Bailey Ferguson come on and attempt the field goal. They tried to throw a little variation of a post corner to Bellows on that particular play at the other side of the formation, and it was severely underthrown. And for Canton, it's a good thing he didn't catch it because the half would have ended. Yep,
would have been short. So this is a pretty lengthy field goal, Coach. I got it at 30 yards.
And you're right. That's exactly where it's at.
And it's at that left hash. It's cold out. Here comes the heat. The kick is up. The kick is no good. I believe it is to the right-hand side.
Correct. Had the distance, I think.
It did.
And that's big.
That is big. It's about the only big thing, as it's been kind of a tough half for the Muncie Indians, but regardless, they get to halftime with this score. Canton 21, Muncie 0. We're going to take an extended halftime break. Muncie Indian football. And we'll be back with maybe some halftime analysis, some stats. We'll go from there. But appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate all of the feedback we're getting. And we'll be right back after this quick pause. And welcome back to halftime. Jamie Spencer along with my good buddy from the Williamsport Sun-Gazette. Are we allowed to say that? Oh, I just did. It doesn't
Absolutely.
matter. Well, so, you know.
The Sun-Gazette, you give us some love.
Yeah, I
we'll
know
take
that,
it.
but
We'll take it.
Last week I said some love and I got slapped. I got fined. No, I'm just kidding. Chris Massey is joining us. And, Chris, ugly field conditions. I didn't think it was going to – I knew we were going to get some rain, but right now it's really getting bad.
And according to all the genius forecasters
Yes.
who always brag about how accurate they are, we weren't supposed to get any after this morning. And, again, they're wrong. And,
they are wrong.
I mean, it's a shame, but – you know, District 4 still made the right call doing what they did this week.
You were very, very animated about that.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, they did make the right call. I mean, yesterday, heck, 3 inches
monsoon,
of, forget about it. But right now, I don't think they expected this much.
No, there was nothing like this in the forecast for tonight. It was supposed to be dry and cold.
And obviously, this doesn't help Muncie one bit.
That's the
and
last
that
thing
just
they need right
really,
now.
really sucks. They got off to kind of a slow start. I mean, they played well early, I would say, in the first quarter, what have you. But then, you know, Canton just totally had all of the momentum there in the second quarter. They do lead 21-0, and again, this is just not a field right now for Muncie.
No, I mean, when, you know, Canton's loving the position they're in, they don't care how sloppy it gets right now because they're up 21. And, you know, Muncie, I think, is going to have to start trying to open things up and throw the ball and, you know, doing it in this. It's that much harder. So, I mean, it's tough enough with Canton's ferocious defense, and now you throw in the weather, and they're really fighting an uphill battle. Yeah. But, you know, it's funny. I think the game changed on a punt. You know, Michael Davis pinned them back at the 6-yard line. Both teams were kind of living in the middle of the field. And they forced a punt from Muncie's end zone and got a short field and scored. And it's just been rolling since.
Yep. You know, how many times have you seen Muncie? Every time, or I'm sorry, not Muncie, but Canton. We called a couple of their games last year. This year we did not. But I'm just amazed at the old school kind of wing tee. They even did the wishbone. They have so many weapons, and the ball control with their quarterback is just fantastic. They got some studs. They're really fun to watch.
They do. I mean, they've got a great physical offensive line, and like you said, they throw so many different things at you. They throw a lot of different formations. They've used 6 different quarterbacks in a game this year. They just give you so much to think about. And, that misdirection, I think it drives defenses crazy. It gave South fits last week. It's given Muncie problems. And then you got, as physical as that line is, the running backs are equally physical. Riley Parker, Weston Bellows, Hayden Ward. All good wrestlers. Well, Bellows, I think, plays basketball, but all good wrestlers, and you know they get a lot of yards after contact.
Yeah, they do. And I'll tell you what, their only blemish was a very competitive game with Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
And what a game to get that on your schedule.
Yep.
Well-oiled machine. It's one thing, you're beating up on the Northern Tiers, but really a good ball game for them. Muncie, again, they got to come out. They got to play well on the defense. Canton receives the opening kickoff here. But talk to me a little bit. Well, two things. I wanted to pick your brain. I guess I wasn't here last week, but you almost caught a pass.
I did. I should have had it.
Seriously.
It's going to haunt me forever.
Someone threw a pass all the way up to you. Where were you? Yeah.
I was right where you see and Catherine right across from us.
Okay, so
I was just to the right of him.
On the screen, people at home, and I just checked the YouTube views. We have like 20,000 people. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Yeah. But so you were basically on that press box, and there was an errant pass?
Yeah, the quarterback. I don't know where he was under fire, and he just wanted to get rid of it, and he chucked it, and I was like, holy cow, this is coming right at me, and I reached out, and it hit me right in the hands. Right in the hand. I mean, he couldn't have thrown it any better to me. And it was like a foul ball drop, and because I was excited, and I think I was already thinking about my celebration.
Like, what do I do? Do I spike it?
I would have spiked the ball in the press box if I caught it. You know, I don't get moments like that often, but I totally flubbed it.
No, not at all. You covered another game today, and it was just fantastic.
Video game? Yeah. Loyal Sock Mifflinburg.
Loyal Sock Mifflinburg. What was the final score?
69-42. And Sock was driving again. They could have scored again, and they just decided to run the clock, and they put in some of the backups. But it was insane. Jalen Andrews 244 yards receiving, 5
That's
touchdowns.
Unreal.
And Davion Hill, 261 rushing with 4 and 73 receiving. And a touchdown, it was Tyler G, 341. There was 1,220 yards combined.
Are you serious?
For a guy that loves offense, it was heavenly.
And I'll tell you what, you'll probably never see a game like that.
No, I don't think so.
No,
that was unbelievable.
No,
it took a long time to do the box score.
Hey, what's next up? Jersey Shore picked up a nice win. We're looking ahead. Are they off next week, did I see?
No, this winter is.
Okay.
Jersey Shore will play Allentown Central Catholic.
Okay.
Rematch of last year. They'll play them Friday at Williamsport.
But this winter.
This winter will get a bye,
okay.
And then they will play the District 6 champion in 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
Not sure about that site yet. I haven't seen the bracket to see.
But interesting, kind of having a bye. And
I
think it is.
Yeah, I know Sean Tetro liked it. Talking to him last week, he said he'd rather would have had the bye coming off the championship than coming off of Week 10 and having the bye there. He said, I think it's a matter of preference, but if you have some banged up guys, then it gives you a week to get ready for for a state playoff push. And
it's a little different, but
it is.
I know you're a busy guy, and, make sure you go the long way. Don't go through the field because you might slip. But really appreciate you coming on over like always. And so we are just kind of a week-by-week thing, but really appreciate you coming over. And you hooked us up with some analysis, and life is good. Keep doing what you're doing. So this is our halftime show, the Muncie Indian football. We're not allowed to say anything important. So there you go. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back with your second half. Thank you. Dan, welcome back. Just moments away from the second half. Jamie Spencer along with Rich Delonis. Got to give some love to the crew upstairs. Chris Down, man in the camera. Dre Lewis doing some stats. And Dre, if he was smart, he would come down here and get out of the rain. And I see he's behind us now, so maybe he's getting smarter. And also got to give a little love to Nick Karinji, who is kind of our producer, our sergeant in arms. Chili. Coach, we talked a little bit about this before we went to halftime. Muncie, they started out really good on the defensive end, and I think Massey hit it right on the head when they had that one punt that unfortunately Branson couldn't field it, and it rolled all the way to the 10, just totally flipped the field position, and, Muncie just couldn't find a way to move the football. Canton scored again, and that's where we're at right now with, getting start of the third quarter, 21-0.
Correct, and, that very well may be so, but even if you flip a field like that, to me, while he's not incorrect there, the big defining difference in this football game has been the play of the offense and defensive lines for Canton.
Yes.
So they've consistently now Muncie's had their share of plays, but not consistent. Canton, slow start, then began to get consistent yardage running the ball. You saw them run a couple of different formations. The double tight wishbone gave Muncie a little bit of problems. They were in an I. They've been in their double split, double wing back a little bit. So they've been very diversified. But under all the window dressing is a rushing attack that Muncie has not had an answer for. And I think that's been the big difference. Their offensive line has been able to take consistent control of the first half.
Really, once they found a way to get into the end zone, and then they did go old school with that wishbone attack. We came down and they marched it in for another touchdown. Just way too many, so many weapons, and they have an interesting way of getting those weapons, the ball, in different ways. So
correct. They do a good job with it. And
they do. Well-oiled machine. So we're just moments away here from the kickoff here in the second half. We mentioned that Canton will be receiving.
So we're waiting for the official start of the third quarter. The game clock still has 18
It's not immediate
seconds.
timeout because we can't afford commercials, so it's not. That's another zinger. God, I'm rolling today, but I'm the only one laughing.
Without sound, coach speak, whatever, being redundant, cliches, etc. Muncie finds itself in a position that they haven't been in the entire season. So you're down 3 scores. You do have plenty of time to come back.
Absolutely.
But it is imperative that you set the tone right off the bat here on this first series.
This, first possession is very, very, very key. Got 2 Canton Warriors standing at the 10-yard line. And Weichel will angle it to the outside. It is taken by Ward. He cuts across the 25, gets to the 30, where they will start 1st and 10. How many Wards are on that roster? It's
3.
amazing. It's crazy.
I know.
So we'll see what Canton opens up with. Again, a whole plethora. Different formations.
A lot of window dressing by the offensive coordinator. But again, when you scrub off the top surface, it's still a powerful run game.
And you gave them some love, but their line up front, they do have some big bodies, but they're going to open up with the wishbone. Quarterback under center, going to play action, and, man, that was kind of a bad play. It looked like the tailbacks went left, and he might have went right on design, Coach.
Well, all 3 backs thought it was an option left, and Bailey thought it was an option right, and actually lucky to even gain a yard there. It's lucky that they didn't get pasted for a loss of a yard or 2. But one thing I know about Canton has been through their history. If you don't stop something, you're going to keep getting a steady diet of it.
Take a look at that number 50, Mason Nelson, 6'1", 305, and he's good.
And there they go, right back at it again. This play
just nails a guy, keeps on moving, will pick up the first down, getting closer and closer to midfield. Look at this kind of stiff arm.
Well, it's a fake to the fullback, and then it turns into that bounce blast play where Bellows is going to take it. It looks like he's going to go inside the defensive end. When the defense commits, he bounces it to the outside, and they've hurt Muncie with this play at least 5 times tonight, at least.
1st and 10, 10:53 in counting here in the third quarter. Can's on top, 21-0. Quarterback keeper gets to the outside, and another good gain. I mean, he picks up 9 yards, and, they just keep on moving.
Well, this was the play you should have seen 2 plays ago, but all the backs went the wrong way, except for Bailey Ferguson. So a little bit of a triple option look out of the wishbone, and he pulls the ball from the fullback and keeps it. And I'll tell you, it's hard not to be impressed with the amount of things, if you will, that Canton is doing tonight offensively.
And they're all on the same page. I agree. The only mix-up was that play a couple of times ago. backs. Fullback give right up the middle. That is another Ward. He'll pick up a huge first down and 8 yards, 7 yards, 9 yards.
Another fullback trap, and they
Just
scored
up the
twice
middle.
on this.
Yep.
And that's Mason Nelson again, coming across and making the trap play. So all of their players up front, offensive line-wise, are well coached, and they get the job done. So see, they're going to bring that tackle over again, who's lining up as a tight end.
Yep. Going to go with the option. Quarterback is going to keep it. He's got some running room. He's going to run for the pylon. Is tripped up at the last second. He's got some speed, Coach.
Yeah, he does. And now I think if we see this, you're going to see a cross block on the end between the two men on the line of scrimmage who cross and now blast through.
Opens that hole.
And that's an X blast, and that is a definite wing T play.
Yep.
The only difference is the quarterback's keeping it. Usually in a regular wing T, it's the fullback that's got the ball.
Yep.
They call it X lead.
1st and 10, 9, 12 in counting. Ball's at the 15-yard line. Going to run off the right-hand side. That time he just says, no, you cannot go any further. Big stop that time by number 7, Kenneth Hamp.
Kenny will be back another couple years. His dad was a stalwart for the Warrior Run Defenders back in the day.
Was he really?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Kenny is 6'3", 295-pound sophomore.
Beautiful. Full house backfield again. Misdirection. Bellows is tackled that time. Short gain, good pursuit.
Yeah, Jason Schutter did a nice job of scraping over, making the play. Again, they're faking to the fullback on one side, and then it's just turning into a straight blast play with Riley Parker leading Bellows to the other side. But excuse me a second. That was Womer, not Schutter. My bad.
No, good play. Good play.
They both had 2s. One is a 12 and one's 42. So
brings up a 3rd down, and we will call it 6. Under 8 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Opening drive, rush up the middle, and he is untouched. Touchdown.
Yep, correct. And that's another Ward, I believe. 23, Hayden. And there it is. It's just the fullback give off the triple option look.
Man.
And there was nobody home for Muncie. Then that should be your Mike backer, your middle backer, or inside backer's responsibility. But sometimes, they release linemen down to level 2, and you don't even see it coming. So this is what you would expect from a group of kids that have been playing together for 4 years.
I might say it quite a bit. It's going to sound redundant, but they are a well-oiled machine, man.
They are.
And there's a bad snap. The ball is loose as going to try to run for it, but that's the only bright spot right there for Muncie. The point after is no good. So with 7:49 left to go here in the 3rd quarter, it is all Canton. The score, 27-0. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Muncie. 7:49 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Canton's up 27-0. A little squig kick over to Ryder. Picks it up at the 20. Going to try to get across. And I'll tell you, the poor young man just can't get anything going.
No, Hudson Ward, one of the 3 Wards, was there to make the tackle on this time. And hopefully Brady's going to be all right. He's down on the field.
Hit the hole pretty hard and just kind of landed a little gingerly, so hopefully he is all right.
Yeah, there's been some smacking going on tonight, and luckily not many injuries at all. So knock on wood that continues because you don't want to see it. And it's rare. I'll tell you, talking to both of the coaches before the game, Sean in particular last week, it's rare you're this far into the season without any major injuries. So.
And he said the same thing to me earlier this week. He was just like it was foreign to him.
And that's a good thing because you don't really have that and find that in November.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, when you've got teams who are playing at this time of the year with these types of records, a combined 20 wins and 1 loss, it's usually the team that does something that it usually doesn't do, and that's beat itself. And Muncie has not done that the whole year. Tonight, they've had a couple turnovers, a couple of missed tackles.
Yep.
And sometimes when you try to call a game and you look back at it retrospectively as a coach, you know, the opposition has a lot to do with that.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
You know?
That's a very good football team they're matching up against. And the thing of it is, that was a very impressive drive Canton just did. They chewed up all kinds of clock, Coach. And, next thing you know, you're down 27-0.
Correct. And the key now for Muncie is, again, keep swinging.
Yeah.
Keep getting up off the mat because you're not losing to a bunch of stumble bumps here. This is a good football team.
Absolutely. Backs are in the eye. Branson is under center. Going to go with Johnson. The fullback give up the middle, and he twists and turns, picks up maybe 2-3 yards at the most.
And there's been a steady diet of Austin Johnson on first down this entire game for Muncie. He's come close a couple of times, but it's been that steady 3 or 4. It's the second downs that have hurt Muncie tonight, in my opinion, where they've maybe gotten a yard or an incompletion or got thrown for a loss. Then they're behind the sticks.
Play action. Branson going to roll out. Sidesteps, has a man, throws, and it is through the hands of Confer.
Absolutely, and Noah was out there. It was a well-thrown ball in the rain, and he would have probably gained another 10 yards on that catch, and you've got to make that play. There is laundry down. I didn't see a flag, did you?
I didn't either.
Oh, but there is. Let's see what it is.
The guy...
ineligible receiver.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see that happen a lot. That was a very nice throw from Branson, considering the elements, and he didn't really have his footing. So, ineligible, and they're going to decline that, and that's probably the right thing to do, Coach. Brings up a 3rd down and 7 for Muncie.
And there's that 2nd down play again.
Yep.
And now Muncie's got themselves in a situation that, unfortunately for them, they've been in all too often tonight.
Play clock is now at 5. Branson is in the shotgun. Drops back, throws across the middle, and Confer again. Poor kid.
Well, that time, I think you'll see it, they ran off and ran him underneath, and Branson did a nice job being patient. See, patient, throws it now, and it looks to me like he took his head off the football, wanted to get upfield before he secured it, and
tough. Feels so bad for that kid.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, you're right. That was a good one. That was
your
best.
That.
That was your best. Punting situation here for Muncie. Good snap. Here comes the kick. It is blocked as it is going to be fielded at the 18-yard line where Canton will take over 1st and 10.
Mason Nelson getting up
Look
off
at the
the
big
pile
fella
again.
Big fella. He weighs about 310 pounds. Just said, me, my ball.
So much for my rains it pours comment.
Yes.
Now you're looking at it becoming a mercy rule game.
I know.
If Canton puts one in here, and right now,
it's crazy.
Sorry, if you're a Muncie fan to hear this, but the only team that's going to stop Canton now is them.
Yeah, no, they are
turnover.
They are as good as advertised. Bellows, left-hand side, Good stop up the middle, picks up 2 yards. Clock will continue to roll. 6:32 and counting here in the third quarter.
Kenny Hampy getting up off that pile. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for Canton. And now just watch how they operate. Watch the little things in terms of when they break the huddle, when they're snapping the ball. Yeah. And you might say, well, it's 27-0. That doesn't mean anything. Well, these are little things that well-seasoned and well-coached teams do. The clock's their friend.
Yeah.
They don't need to snap the ball with 20 seconds left on the clock.
Full house backfield. Quarterback keeper. And Ferguson's trying to get to the outside. He picks up 1. Good defense. Muncy. And I believe who calls the plays is Coach Brock Kitchen.
Correct.
Who's been around for a long, long time. And he's also the basketball coach up at Canton. His son last year was the starting quarterback. And, he's got a nice little repertoire.
He does, and you know what makes that repertoire real good?
Amen. Got some players up front to help you make – the players, they make you look good.
Those 9 seniors make a coach look real good in a real big hurry. However, it is an orchestration.
Yes.
It's the players, it's the coaching, it's the preparation, and they are doing things tonight they didn't do last week against South Williamsport.
True,
so you can see the coaching, a couple of the wrinkles, etc. But man, they've got some big time players for a single A school.
So it's 4th down and 7. Full house backfield, going to run it off the right-hand side as that looks like Parker is going to waltz in for a touchdown. It just goes to show how amazing that is. They got 3 running backs in the backfield, and they just run for, wow.
Correct. And there's a derivative of that lead bounce play. This time he runs it inside, then bounces it out. Poor angle by Muncie, and you can't make a mistake against these backs like that. And now I believe Canton's going to go for 2 to try and make it a 35-0 game.
And the last attempt was kind of botched. So, yes, Canton will go for 2. Backs are in the eye. Going to go off the right-hand side, and Parker sneaks on in. He will get it, and that will make it 35-0 with 4:44 left to go here in the third quarter.
Again, another off-tackle power play by Canton.
Strong.
And Riley Parker, a seasoned veteran. Again, we said coming into tonight's game with over 1,100 yards. He's certainly going to add to that impressive total with some big runs tonight. But every Canton back, with the exception of the quarterback, has had a big run.
Yep.
And they haven't even unleashed their pass game, which comes off their run game, because they haven't had to tonight. So they're going to be a tough out.
They really are. They really are. And this is kind of similar to the game that we called last year, Coach, up there. It was the district championship. Similar feel, similar kind of scoring, and Canton just outplayed them. And, man, I'll tell you what, this is shocker. No, Canton's pretty darn good. And Muncie, unfortunately, and there's still a lot of time left. But, yeah, pretty tough. Fielded at the 10-yard line as he gets knocked out of bounds. That is number 23. Coach, who you got there?
That's Paxton Durr.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Great name.
For the
Here it is, Coach. Here's the replay. Kind of bobbles it a little bit, but picks it up and doesn't do anything fancy, just runs.
Yeah, this is an example of, they say you outkick your coverage.
Yep.
But a couple of the Canton players were past the ball being picked up. It was a good return. Muncie's best return of the evening. So now, listen, you've got to be realistic. You're down 5 scores, continuous clock. So you just got to play as hard as you can and hope something good happens.
Yeah, and, it sucks just trying to watch some of these guys, the seniors that have been out there, been calling their games for a long time. Branson's going to throw back, and it is up in the air. It is intercepted.
Austin Allen has it.
Allen has it at the 40, and he is stuck as Canton will take over 1st and 10, and Austin, he took a big hit that time.
Yeah, the hitting's been crisp. Regardless of the score, there's been some big hits. But there you go. You got to take a chance, I guess, if you're Muncie, do what you've made a living on in the year.
Yep.
But Canton's well prepared for that. They had 3 defenders back there. So I would be real surprised if you see the ball in the air at all from Canton.
Oh, yeah. No, they're going to run it out, run it out, run it out. Let's get out of here and prepare for next week.
And they have made a living bringing that tackle over in the tight end spot all evening and running right there. Now they're going to toss it in the same spot.
Parker, as there is a flag. It looks like it was kind of a hold or a push in the back.
Yeah, one of the two, the usual culprits. It's going to be a hold.
That's the one thing if you're...
like the Shawshank Redemption. Everybody's innocent. Nobody held, nobody pushed.
Great.
Just phantom.
Movie. You know what? I dropped a line out of Shawshank earlier this morning.
Oh, okay.
It was something about, it was about Nick and his car, how they can't ignore us forever. But I can't say the make of the car because the PIAA might slap my wrist.
Oh.
So that is a 1st and 20 now. Ball is right at midfield, 3:35 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Going to run Bellows off the left-hand side. Gets closer to that original line of scrimmage.
He gained almost all of it back. I think he gained 8 or 9 of it back, maybe a little bit less. But again, they have just relentlessly attacked the outside C gap to D gap, if you will. Both sides of Muncie's defense have been extremely successful all evening.
Coach, you mentioned, and they are taking their time. The play clock is at 12.
Yep.
No hurry. Full house backfield. Going to run it off the right-hand side, and good stick that time.
Now what's interesting to me, just from a coaching standpoint, is I'm going to see at what point Coach Sechrist is going to start to substitute.
Yeah.
Just for a couple of his big guns in the backfield. Maybe,
totally
for
agree.
a Parker, maybe get the QB out.
Yep.
I don't know how much you can do up front because you're a small school. You don't have a ton of kids out. But, boy, right now you're up and up extremely comfortable, and you got everything to play for. Yep.
It's cold. You're totally right there. But, we'll see. So the clock will continue to roll. It's at 2:10. Ball is fumbled, picked up, get out of here. Hayden will take it all the way down to the 5-yard line, and that is just incredible.
It is, but Muncie fans are screaming, and they should be, because the play clock was at 0 for a good second at least, and there was no flag thrown, and again, you see it, he fumbles the ball, picks it up, and when it's not your night, it's not your night.
It isn't.
I'll guarantee you Coach Kitchens didn't design it that way.
No. But knowing him, Brock will take credit for it.
I'm really surprised there wasn't a flag there. That play clock was at 0 for...
I didn't see that.
More than a second.
So 1:23 in counting here in the 3rd quarter. Backs are quarterback Sneaker. He is going to be just shy. That'll bring up a 2nd down and goal. Now we are at the 4-yard line. It's unfortunate. A lot of the folks, and I don't blame them, get home. Starting to creep out of the stadium. Good crowd regardless.
Jimmy Bergen, the former Montour coach a long time ago, we were talking way back when I was at Southend. He said he wasn't in favor of the playoffs. He said, and I'll tell you why, Coach Z. He said, because only one team ends up happy every year.
Yeah. Going to run it to the right-hand side, and he is in again. Touchdown, Riley Parker.
Hey, that has to be at least the 20th time they've run the play tonight.
Same play. You're right.
Same play, both sides.
Just can't stop it.
And Muncie's having a hard time defending it, obviously. But, and I thought about that when Jim first said that to me. I was a lot younger than I am now, and I was all excited for the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, the more you think about it, Muncie's not going to win this game tonight.
Nope.
their kids are going to be upset, and rightfully so, I guess.
True.
But it's been a tremendous run for these seniors.
Unbelievable.
You know?
look at their track record, where they have been, and, the amount of games, and the nemesis, unfortunately, is this Canton team who is just tremendous.
Right.
I agree with you. Branson Iyer. I mean, you talk about like his legacy. Ross, his cousin, one of the all-time greats receivers, and I totally agree with you.
The Jason Shooters, and, and those types of kids, that are going to be leaving a very successful program that have cemented their legacy, and they'll be down for a couple of days, but hopefully down the road they'll be able to look at it and say, hey, Vince Lombardi also said a while back, and I hate getting all cliche-ish like this, because sometimes it drives me crazy when I hear coaches do it, but, you say, don't lose looking bad. Every once in a while you're going to lose.
Yep.
You lose to a better team, and you lose playing as hard as you can.
Head up, yep.
That's why there's a winner and a loser. Somebody's got to lose. So, I've been talking so much now I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. It's tough, man. No, I feel for the guys, and then at the end of the game, regardless what happens here in the fourth quarter, I'm going to go and try to find those guys because, it's tough. As there's just a bounce, and Weichel will take it at the goal line. He'll get out to about the 10-yard line. Just another little example.
Just not their night.
Just not going their way.
Well, you couple it not being your night with a team that's as good as Canton is. Then this is what you get. You get a disastrous result. We're not standing there saying, "Oh, if it was only this one play," or
the refs,
maybe if they
refs hosed us.
No. This has been a thorough,
well-oiled machine. So they will start the clock. I don't know if Muncie will try to get a playoff. We'll see.
Well, they will have to snap.
Okay.
Unless they're not throwing. Because they did in the last series. Oh, and there goes a flag for something.
Yep, it looks like we had a false start, had a couple of guys moving. That'll stop the clock with 11.4 left to go here in the third quarter.
So then, you start digging into all this stuff and looking and start saying, is Canton as good as they were tonight? Is Muncie as bad as they look tonight? And somewhere in between is the reality.
A lot of moving parts,
Yep,
And again, it's amazing. That emotion goes both ways. But that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. That was a fast third quarter. We're going to step out, just take a quick breather. When we come back, we'll have the fourth. But the score, Canton 42, Muncie 0. And welcome back, fourth quarter. Muncie Indian football. Been all Canton tonight. The score, 42-0. As Muncie is going to take over first and 15. No, I know. It's crazy. And that's the tough thing, As Coach just showed me a picture, you're getting some love. The kids have been playing together for a long, long time, ever since they're little guys, and this is going to be their final game. It's tough. Iyer will throw it up in the air, and it is incomplete, intended for his cousin Ross. Well covered.
I got to tell you, one of the first students I've ever had the privilege to teach at Troy, back when I was a young buck, has kept in touch with me all these years, and that's who has just sent me that photo.
Okay.
I can't mention her name on the
Yeah,
air, but
yeah,
she
yeah.
was one of the best students I've ever taught.
Yeah.
Brilliant, great work ethic, great
Awesome.
young ladies, turned into an awesome adult. But she sent that picture of the kids when they were all playing as peewees. So
it happens at every school too. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Johnson's going to swing out to the left-hand side, and he just has nowhere to go. And look at these guys; those are kind of some reserves that are starting to get in there, but making plays and feeling good about life.
Yeah, which we talked about. Now you don't need any injuries that are going, because Canton's got. I mean, I understand Muncie keeping their seniors in if they want to. It's their last game. But Canton's got bigger fish frying, so you don't want to get anybody hurt.
Also, another interesting note, too, the winner of this game, which will be Canton, they have a bye next week.
They do. Interesting lot of buys. I don't think Erie Cathedral Prep has played yet. I think they have 5 buys, and they go right into the Western Final. Because everybody in District 7 and 6A.
They're mad.
Yeah. You know, they've been beaten by the Ramblers for so many years. They just wanted to ramble themselves out of contention. So, yeah, if you get a chance, get on the site and check out the 6A. I believe they're 6A. They may be 5A. I don't know, but it's Erie Cathedral Prep in the West. They've got at least 2 buys. They haven't played a game yet. They haven't played a playoff game
Can't make it
yet.
up. Can't make it up. No.
But it was. I appreciate that photo being sent, and it is cool. And talking with Coach Raynard on the field, one of Canton's offensive line coaches, great guy, coached with me at Troy a long time ago, way back. He said, you know, Coach, he said, this is a special group. He said, their chemistry, he said, and Coach Van Noy was telling me even before Coach Raynard came out on the field, he said, none of these kids care. They don't care about stats. They don't start complaining if somebody has more carries or more receptions. And when you've got that kind of chemistry, you're hard to beat.
Find nowadays.
It is.
I'm telling you, man.
It is.
That's why they're so successful. And I would also say down up the river at Jersey Shore, the same mentality. Yes.
And some coaches know.
Yep.
You know,
Oh,
talent's great, but sometimes talent's hard to coach.
It is. It is. Branson will step back. It is third, and he's going to fire it out of the end zone. It is incomplete. He just had no time. That'll bring up a 4th down for Muncie. It'll be 4th and 14.
And, Jamie, I'm pretty sure, I'm looking back at Dre, who's done an awesome job at stats tonight. I don't think Ayers had a catch tonight.
He hasn't.
0.
Yep.
So he's been shut out tonight. And there's you're talking about a weapon there who
one of the all-time leading in District 4.
Yeah, came into tonight with 655 reception yards, 14 touchdowns, and Canton shut him out.
Yeah, yep. Weichel, low liner, as that ball is, they got lucky again.
There's one as a coach, you're standing on the sideline. What are you doing? You know?
Let it go.
That's why they're kids, man. They'll surprise you. You know? That was a warm burner, and I don't know if anybody got a hand on it or not, but coach on the sideline, at Michael Davis, Michael, what are you doing? Let it go. And I'm sure Michael will laugh at that tonight, because they're up big.
True.
Say, what am I doing? He knows better than that. So we get a timeout by the Warriors, 42-0, and you can go back through the history of all small schools or big schools. It doesn't matter. High school athletics. Every once in a while, Jamie, you get that special group of kids.
Special group.
And you can see it. You can see it when they're in the elementary.
Yep.
They're coming up through.
Yep.
They're always at each other's houses. They're the parents. You ask them, how many kids do you have? 20.
True.
True. So you can see that with Canton. You can see the way they play. You can see
with Canton, and I will also say you have that with Muncie. Okay,
yes,
it didn't
absolutely.
work out tonight, but here's the thing. Basketball might happen. Baseball might happen because these guys are a very, very, very special group. And Canton's the same way. A lot of their guys play multiple sports and what have you. Really, really cool. And you said it perfectly. One team advances, one team goes home, and the scoreboard doesn't help things, obviously, but it is what it is. Ben Fitch is the quarterback. Davis goes out to the right-hand side, gets tripped up right around the 10-yard line. That will be enough for the first down. First and goal from the 10.
And Coach Kitchens has reduced, believe me, he's reduced that offensive play sheet to a thimble because it's been this, I don't know what they call it, bounce blast or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's been left, right, thrown in a fullback trap. And
so Coach and I, we've coached against each other, obviously, in basketball, but he's usually one of the guys that he will watch the replay and he'll send me a note tomorrow. And what a good dude. Great coach. Smacked up at the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of new white shirts in there. That is young Holden Ward, sophomore. Clock will continue to run there, Rich. 8:36 in counting.
And I haven't looked at the advanced brackets, but at some point, I think Canton's going to be running into Steel High again.
Yeah,
and that's
usually
going to be another dandy because I believe they played last year, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And that's going to be a good one.
Canton made it all the way to the semis.
Correct.
Yeah.
But this year it should be. I'll ask Mr. Chilson here after the play. I don't know if he'll be able to help us or not, but it should be in District 4 this year, correct? If they meet.
They would meet in the Eastern Final. It would be the Eastern Final game. They'll play District 6 first.
All right, so it'll be the Eastern Final if they do meet. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, barring any major injuries, I think they will meet in the Eastern Final.
Yep.
And boy, I'd love to see that at Williamsport if anybody's listening. That matters.
You would hope so.
In the the bigwigs of the PIAA. And you've had some interesting comments from them. You must like them, Jamie.
I do. Third down and goal from the 15. Is going to keep it, and he is thrown down. That is number 71, Elijah Harris. Give him some love. Just a junior, 6'4", 245.
Yeah, I'm talking to a couple of Muncie assistants down on the field early. The cupboard certainly isn't bare for Muncie next year. I mean,
Johnson's just a sophomore.
Yep,
That is
Hampy,
just unreal.
Johnson. Yeah. So they've got Eli. They've got some kids coming back to build off of. Now, Canton's going to have a major rebuild.
Yes. But that tradition,
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
They're going to be well coached. They're
Goes
tough.
a long ways. Fourth and goal from the 17-yard line. Going to go for it and goes right up the middle, and it is going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, fullback trap didn't fool anybody on that play. That was Nick Delaney, number 88, I believe, that was making the tackle, and Muncie will take over as the clock should continue to run.
Keep a couple of guys in there. Branson's still in the ball game. 6:36 left to go here in the fourth quarter. District championship. Iyer is not even
Nobody's
open.
covering him, correct. I think Canton got a timeout.
Yeah, that's good coaching. You might want to guard that kid.
Yeah. While we have a little bit of a timeout here, do want to thank Mr. Chilson.
Yeah, what a good
guy.
The
Muncie Area School District.
Yes,
We've been down a couple times, 2 weeks in a row.
Last 2 weeks, man.
And
it's been a lot of fun.
In the year, they always roll out the red carpet for us, regardless of who we're representing.
Yep, absolutely.
I want to thank Nick Karinji, Chris Downs, Dre.
My man's Dre is,
Obviously yourself, your son for coming along.
Yeah, you know, it's you got to bring your bodyguard because it is playoff time. I didn't think they were going to let us in.
Are you signing anything on the way out tonight?
Nope,
he's going to get you out of here. All
right. The election's over. 1st and 10. Johnson up the middle. Picks up 4, maybe 5. Clock will continue to run. 6:10.
We take different exits on the way out. I have to go through the broken down, no longer remembered head coach exit. So I walk through that.
Man, it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's a cycle of life, my man.
It is. No, and as I told you, you miss the you miss the interaction with the kids. Other than that, no. This is a lot funner. It's a lot safer, too. Branson's going to throw it, and it is caught. I believe that is Confer.
It is.
And they're going to give it to him. Beautiful.
Yeah, he's going to make amends for the earlier two that he would like back, and that was close. I don't know. Let's see if we can get it with the camera. I don't know.
Good.
Chris will have it downfield, but let's see. I thought it may have bounced, and I don't know.
Good officiating.
But
give it to the kid.
Yeah.
So I think Canton's going to throw the challenge flag.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
5 minutes.
I believe that may have been Muncy's biggest gain of the night.
Yep.
So
Johnson's going to get into the secondary, picks up 7, maybe 8. Brings up a second down, and we will call it 3. I don't know if you folks can hear them at home, but, man, the band.
They haven't stopped, have they?
So good. So good. A couple weeks ago, Dre and I were here calling the game, and they were playing the Ghostbuster theme song.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic. And Johnson picks up a nice, and we throw the flag, and Coach is really upset because they're going to call a bad hit on Ross. But the thing of it is, you saw Ross watch.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
You can't do that. But, again, Ross, you watch him help him up. No intent.
And Coach Weber, I think you're seeing some emotions spill out now from everybody at the end of the game. But it used to be what we'd call a snot knocker, and everybody would go, ooh, but can't do it anymore on all levels, high school, college, NFL. So it is what it is.
They stop the clock while they set, and now they're going to go another 15 yards, maybe 5 yards.
And Coach T, I thought Coach T was going to bypass Iyer there and go out and get a little bit more.
I know.
Little bit more of his.
I think he can
bang for his money there.
Hey, he can throw some blocks still.
Oh yeah.
Big strong guy. What a good dude Sean is.
Yeah, they've got good people running their program down here. Coached with Mike Weber for all of my time at Lycoming, and good
There's
guy.
Iyer. As Ross makes one man miss, and he gets out of bounds, and good for him.
Yeah, good way to have his career end. You don't want to go get shut out in your last game.
Yep.
You can see his athletic ability, and
he's very good. He's a great basketball player, great baseball player. Ran into his mom before the game, and Mom says he's starting to like golf. So, I like him a lot. 2 wide receivers will come down to the bottom, 3:20 and counting. Going to go with Johnson, left-hand side, tries to get through, and here's the difference between even a second-string Canton. He breaks that for a touchdown against the other teams they played during the regular season. This is a second-team Canton, and they stop them. Huge difference. First and 10, 2:50 in counting. All Canton on the scoreboard, 42-0. Branson, play action. Going to try to set the screen. It's going to roll out to the right-hand side. Makes one man miss, still on his feet. Spins and gets down to the 32. So with all of that, it's a 1-yard gain. Coach.
Yeah, Hudson Ward was there. And that started off poorly. He lost the ball a little bit, bobbled it, as you just saw. And now no one's open, just trying to make something out of nothing. I'm going to go on my annual spiel here. Now, the Muncie players, almost all of them are looking forward to their next sport.
Yep.
And it's so refreshing, especially in the small schools, to see these kids play multiple sports.
And they do. And they do it well. Yes.
Because it should be that way at all levels.
You have to. Johnson, off to the left. Makes a man miss. Get in the end zone, Austin. And he is still on his feet. Look at that play.
Yeah, great effort.
Sorry, Coach. I just tackled you.
Yeah. Second, third, fourth, and fifth effort.
That was a great run. And we're going to see that a whole heck of a lot more.
Did they call him out? I don't know. Sometimes I saw the signal go up, but one of the officials was sort of meandering around. But it is a touchdown. Great effort, as you can see on the replay.
That was sensational. Thought he got just hammered out of bounds, but he kept his feet and going to try the point after.
Rowan may put it out
Yeah.
where Orly's is.
Yeah, how about it? Good hold, good kick, and yeah, it is good. It is good. So Muncie gets on the scoreboard, and that's what's great.
Yeah, one of those nights. Sean's still upset.
Yeah. Yeah. Kicker did get
Roada got hit. And I can understand his frustration.
Yeah.
There were a couple plays tonight where there should have been flags. There weren't for whatever reason. You know.
And he's animated. That's the most I've ever seen him animated. Yep. Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's the most I've seen Sean. That's the most vocal I've ever seen him. So
yep, he's pretty fired up, and rightfully so.
Yeah, you want to protect your kids, and believe me, kids see that.
Yep.
And you know, the score doesn't really matter when you're talking about player safety.
Yep.
But again, from the standpoint of any nonsense tonight, well-played game. I think both of these schools respect one another. These players respect one another and know, good versus good here.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of mutual respect between both of these teams.
As there should be.
Yep, they see each other, and, for all the marbles. Good high kick, end over end. It is fielded at the 10-yard line. Ran into his own man. Gets out to about the 20-yard line.
And for all intents and purposes, this should be the last series.
Yep. And right now, you just want to be smart. Be smart, coach.
Yep. And for Canton, they'll be moving on. All white jerseys now out there. And sometimes that can be at a small school, that can be a fiasco. You're calling for Larry. And
Yep, no, I know what you mean. That's a beautiful
Larry
thing.
had a sprained ankle in the first quarter, and no one told you. And
as it looks like they're going to do their modified victory formation as the play clock is at 10. Canton is just going to kind of take it, and then they'll snap it when it gets down, and he'll take a knee. There you go. Clock will continue to run because of the score.
And no pushing and shoving and none of that nonsense, and that's good to see. Nobody needs any of that. But a punishing ground game tonight by Canton unleashed here at Stanley Schuyler Stadium, and for whatever it's worth, in this man's opinion, was the main difference.
Absolutely. So, tough because this is the first loss for Muncie, and, you ran into a well-oiled machine tonight. Canton deserved it. Canton played very, very well, and they're going to be a great representation out of District 4.
That is correct.
And this should be the final play, Coach, as nice,
That's it.
Got a feel for the seniors, from Muncie, guys that we have been calling their names for a long time, as they're just going to go shake hands. And
there goes Sean right out in front.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Motion the kids over. No, he's not throwing his hat. He's not. So I'm sure he's disappointed. But right there, congratulating the kids. And listen, this is what it's about. This is the spirit of the high school game.
It's a beautiful thing.
And believe me, as you know from coaching it in your sport, there's some who don't understand that.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And unfortunately, that carries over to the way their kids approach the game. But not here tonight, and that's a good thing.
Really cool. So, again, congratulations to the Canton Warriors. They will represent District 4 very, very well. Congratulations to Muncie. Tremendous football season.
Yep.
As, this was their first loss. They were undefeated over the regular season, and pretty good for them. But just a couple of stats real quick, Coach, and then I think we're going to go ahead and hang things up. But the defense was fantastic for Canton, obviously. Forced 2 turnovers, had 2 blocked punts. Obviously, the offense will get all the credit. They won 42-7. But, Riley Parker unofficially had 14 carries, 92 yards. That's close to 6.5, 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
As you had a couple other guys that scored some touchdowns. For Muncie, Johnson just couldn't get things going. He did have a couple of scampers towards the end, but 14 carries, 89 yards, 1 touchdown. I believe that is his season low.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a little bit different playing against a very stingy defense in Canton. But, good stuff. Coach, your final thoughts, my man.
Well, hey, congratulations to Muncie. Nothing to hang their heads about.
Yep.
They got beat by a better team. And for Canton, congratulations. Very good football team. And now for them, hopefully they'll represent District 4, as you said, in a great way. And, well, I'll tell you what, they're going to be a tough out at the single A level. They are going to be a tough out if they're playing their game like they did tonight. So the only thing, the only thing that may hold them back is a passing game. And I can't comment on that tonight because they didn't have to pass.
They didn't have to.
So
even when Muncie stacked the blocks,
correct.
It was unreal. And, they have so many weapons, but a really entertaining team to watch. But we're going to see what happens for us next week. But it's been a whirl. Really enjoyed working with these guys. Nick Caringi, Chris Downs, my man Dre Lewis. You were pinch hitting. I was pinch hitting. Who knows? But at the same time, really got some good things going. And tonight it was all because of the Muncie School District, the Booster Club, and we were able to help them out. But it was a fantastic year, and look to maybe doing some basketball, maybe doing some football moving forward. But a lot of fun, and there was a lot of moving parts throughout the whole season this year. So,
absolutely. So it's been a blast. And
it is.
I'm like that old mule. They just point me, and I go in the direction. So
I know. That's about it. So we'll say this, the final score for the final time here from Muncie, Canton in the District 4 Single A Championship. They win over Muncie 42-7. Folks, have yourself a great one, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you.